Welcome to the Fight for Our Existence podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Fox Matone. And this episode wasn't the one I was originally planning to release. I recorded something earlier about Oak Flat and the court hearing and what I heard and what I witnessed when I was in the courtroom. But when I was getting ready to publish the episode, I got news that the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit ruled against the 3 cases challenging Oak Flat land transfer. Those cases included were the Apache women and the girls, the San Carlos Apache Tribe, and the Mining Coalition, the environmental group. The court also lifted the order that had been preventing the land transfer. That means the federal government may move forward and transfer Oak Flat to Resolution Copper. And you know, the women in the case is my daughter, my sister, and my nieces. So this news for me and talking about it is something that my family is living through. From what I understand right now, the court ruled against the claims that were brought forward by the Apache women, the tribe, and environmental groups. If you want to listen to that whole court hearing, you could go online, YouTube, and it happened on January 7th in Phoenix, Arizona. The ruling also dissolved the order that had been stopping the land transfer. So that means the government could potentially move forward with the transferring of Oak Flat to Resolution Copper. And right now, the attorneys involved in this case are preparing an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court of the United States. And that is to try to stop the land transfer while the Supreme Court considers the case. So to me, the legal fight is not over. But today's ruling is a major moment in this case. In the episode I was about to publish, I was talking about all the 3 cases. And I was talking about how when Oak Flat gets transferred to Resolution Copper, it becomes private land. And right now it's public land. So once it changes from public land to private land, we have no rights to be on that land. And there are people out there saying that Apache entities are going to manage the land and that we can still go on that land. But the whole thing is that it's still going to be private land. And once Resolution Copper has the land, they don't have to let us be on that land because it's their land now. And so when I was in that courtroom in January, no one denied, not the judges and not the Resolution Copper lawyers, they didn't deny that Oak Flat was in collapse. Even the judge said it was going to be obliterated and that we have about 15 years of that land before it collapsed. And you know, sacred places like Oak Flat, it's not just land, it's our ceremony, it's our prayer, it's our identity. There are connections to the people who came before us. And once a place changes in a fundamental way, the whole relationship changes too. So like I said, right now the attorneys involved in this case are preparing, an emergency appeal to Supreme Court. And we don't know what's going to happen next. But we do know, I know, that the whole conversation about Oak Flat is not over. Because this whole case, this issue, touches something much larger than a legal decision. It touches the relationship between Indigenous people and the land. And when it's all said and done, as Native people, as Apache people, as Indigenous people, each of us have to ask ourselves a question. Where do we stand? Do we stand with Mother Earth or do we stand with the corporate world? Because whatever choice we make, that's something we'll have to live with for the rest of our lives. I'm Uncle Fox, and we'll continue following this story.
Thank you all for tuning into the Fight for Existence podcast. If you guys want to keep up with the podcast in general, what you could do is follow the social media account. The Instagram account is going to be Fight for Our Existence. Again, that's Fight number 4 Our Existence. Go ahead and give that a follow. And if you guys have any questions for us or you guys would like to be on the podcast, in the Instagram, there's a link. Go ahead and click that. No matter what kind of platform you guys listen to this podcast on, there's always that plus or that follow button. So go ahead and click that so you guys can get notifications when we upload our next episode. And if you guys are listening on Spotify, what you can do is go ahead and rate the show. And if you guys are only listening on Apple Podcasts, what you can also do is write a review for the show. Thank you all for tuning into the Fight for Existence podcast, and we will talk to you next time.